Long before modern sports cards took over the spotlight, Australia was already home to a rich history of collectibles dating back to the early 1900s. These vintage cards offer a glimpse into the golden eras of Aussie sport. Faded, rare and full of stories, they're more than just collectibles, they're pieces of sporting history.
It was obviously a very different time. You know, people were working long hours in their jobs. They weren't getting paid a lot of money. Times were pretty tough, but a lot of people loved to go to the football games on Saturdays. And then the cigarette cards just sort of complemented the enjoyment of going to the footy. I'm not sure what the English history was. They would have had the soccer cards and also cricket cards, and the Americans would have had their baseball cards. Australia, though, we produced the footy cards. This set here is the 1904 Sniders Abrahams Set, which was also known as Series A. It is the first Australian-produced set of Australian football cards. These cards were put into cigarette packets. They were basically there as a filler, as a stiffener of the card, of the packet. It's distinctive in that it has full body shots of the players. Just looking at the whole player and their uniform, the long johns they wore, the old boots they wore, which are pretty much work boots. You got South Melbourne, you got Melbourne, you got Carlton, you got Collingwood, you got Essendon. They're quite thin, but again, so hard to find and really good nick. I don't think there's many collectors out there that would say have all of the Sniders and Abrahams set of Australian football cards, because they go from Series A to Series J, however many that is. Fortunately, I do. It's taken me some time to do so. There's two very rare Western Australian sets in that group, and they're extremely hard to find. In front of me here is the full set of the 1908 coloured Western Australian set, as I refer to it. You can just see the history there. It's just a 100-year-old card, just feels and even smells different. We think at this stage the sepia set is the earlier version, but it is around that vintage. That's a set of players from the Western Australian League in sepia colours. Interestingly, there's two umpires in that set. One of them, believe it or not, is called Ivo Crap. I don't know if he's the reason we have that expression, which I won't repeat on camera, when you don't agree with the decision. The older style cards, it's a discrete set, you know how many there are, and I just love the old uniforms and just that history of Australian football. So we're talking 100 years plus. The cigarette packets then are quite small, I think probably 3 centimetres wide, so maybe not even that much. That's quite thin compared to our modern day trading card. My favourite set of all my collections, Dungey Ralph, Sweet Nell, South Australian footballers, that issued in 1906. They're a South Australian set. They're so artistic, classical looking. They're a wider card than what we call Series A, the 1904 Sniders set. There's 49 in that set. An interesting mix of teams. There was about 12 Port, 12 South, about 12 Norwood, half a dozen or so West Torrens, 4 Sturt and just 1 West Adelaide player. Now you'd be very lucky to get one for under $500. And myself, I've paid closer to $1,000 for some cards. They are super rare, and particularly in that top grade. I honestly don't know many people who've got a full set. I'm a preserver of history. I don't want to damage it. That's my first thought. I want to make sure it's preserved. It is, in most cases, a beautiful work of art.